A very good morning to all of you children. Today we shall again begin our English lesson with the second chapter of Flamingo, Lost Spring, written by Anis Jung. Part 2, I Want to Drive a Car, Session 3. But before we start learning the lesson, let's view background of this lesson. As we all know, spring is the season associated with optimism and hope. It also works as a metaphor for the childhood stage of our life. Right from the time we are born until late childhood, every child hopes for a new beginning and a bright future. The phase of childhood is all about innocence, energy, and tremendous inclination towards outdoor activities along with fun and play. And playtime does not have any limit. It is also a time of getting more skill and knowledge and going to school also. But there are certain children in our society who are deprived even of these basic amenities. So here firstly we were presented with a touchy story of a rag picker boy called Sahib-e-Alam, and today we are supposed to study another story of a boy called Mukesh who comes from the family of bangle makers. Firozabad is quite popular for its glass blowing industry. A staggering 20,000 children are a part of this business, and any law that forbids child labor is brutally ignored over here. Also, the working environment and the living places are very pathetic over here. They get exposed to many health and hazards, such as losing even their eyesight also. These outskirts are very dirty and they have to work in dingy and very unhygienic surroundings. Mukesh's father is blind, and even his father and grandfather were also blind. The bangle makers of Firozabad are so burdened that they have stopped even dreaming also, unlike Mukesh who wants to drive a car. Now we shall begin reading and understanding our chapter line wise. I want to drive a car. Mukesh insists on being his own master. I will be a motor mechanic, he announces. Do you know anything about cars? I ask. Now here, when the lesson opens, the writer, she is describing about his encounter with a boy called Mukesh, and his dream is to become a motor mechanic and he wants to drive a car. So the writer, she generally asks her a question, does he know how to drive the car? I will learn to drive a car, he answers, looking straight into my eyes. His dream looms like a mirage amidst the dust of streets that fill his town Firozabad, famous for its bangles. Every other family in Firozabad is engaged in making bangles. It is the center of India's glass blowing industry, where families have. Now, looking straight forwardly into the eyes of the author, Mukesh, he is giving the answer yes, he is having the dream to drive a car and he is going to learn how to drive a car. Now the dream like he is having, obviously Mukesh, he belongs to a poor family, and his dream is going to be, whether it is going to be fulfilled in future, it is very uncertain, because his dream is like mirage. Mirage means what? Mrigjal. It is being termed to as Mrigjal in Hindi. So obviously whether it is supposed to be fulfilled or not, that particular circumstances, it remains uncertain. So he lives in Firozabad, and Firozabad is famous for its bangles, glass bangles. Every other family in Firozabad is engaged in bangle making. It is the center of India's glass blowing industry, where families have spent generations working around furnaces, welding glass, making bangles for all the women in the land, it seems. So obviously the glass bangles that we happen to see, okay, the Indian woman, most probably every Indian woman, married woman, she is having the habit of wearing the glass bangles. And most of these glass bangles, they are being prepared where? They are being prepared at Firozabad in India. And most of the people over there in Firozabad, they are engaged in this bangle making industry. Mukesh's family is among them. None of them know that it is illegal for children like him to work in the glass furnace with high temperatures, in dingy cells without air and light, that the law, if enforced, could get him and all those 20,000 children out of the hot furnaces where they slog their daylight hours, often losing the brightness of their eyes. Now, obviously, the child labor, it is being prohibited over here in India, and the family of Mukesh and Mukesh himself, he is engaged in this business of making the glass bangles. And if the law, it is being enforced over there, okay, the children, they are not supposed to work in the glass furnaces, then nearly 20,000 children over there, they are going to lose their job working in the hot furnaces in Firozabad. Mukesh's eyes beam as he volunteers to take me home, which he proudly says is being rebuilt. So Mukesh, he is carrying the author to his house. We walk down stinking lanes choked with garbage, past homes that remain hovels with crumbling walls, wobbly doors, no windows, crowded with families of humans and animals coexisting in a primeval state. So when she is about to go to her house, what she is seeing, okay, their homes, when she is passing through that particular road where his house is supposed to be, he sees that most of the houses over there, they are very dirty and in shattered state. Some of them, they are having the crumbling walls, and most of them, they are having uneven doors, and even some houses do not have windows also. And over there in that particular area, the humans and the animals, they live together. It is overcrowded, and most of the families over there, they are big, and big families reside over there, and they have to manage and coexist with the animals over there, those who are living over there, as the primitive man used to live earlier. He stops at the door of one such house, bangs a wobbly iron door with his foot, and pushes it open. We enter a half-built shack. In one part of it thatched with dead grass. Now, when they are moving towards their house, they are seeing that most of the houses over there, they are in a broken condition, and all of a sudden he stops at the door of one of the house that most probably belongs to him, and he bangs the iron door that is in an uneven position and pushes it open. So when they enter the house, they find that that particular house, it was not so well built. It was made either out of the wood or the metal. It was very uneven, and in one part of it, it was thatched with dead grass. That means what? Okay, one portion of that house, it was covered with grass. It was made out of the dry grass. Is a firewood stove over which sits a large vessel seasoning spinach leaves. Now when they enter the house, they are supposed to see at that in one corner of the house they are able to see the chula over there, the stove, and over the stove there resides a large vessel on which the food is being cooked, and on the ground they are able to see a large aluminium plate whereupon more vegetables were being kept and chopped. A frail young woman is cooking the evening meal for the whole family. Frail here means what? Very weak. So a weak woman, they could see a very weak young woman, she was cooking evening meal for whole of the family. Through eyes filled with smoke, she smiles. She is the wife of Mukesh's elder brother. Now here it is being cleared that the female who is being seen over there cooking their evening meal, she is Bhabhi of Mukesh, the wife of Mukesh's elder brother. Not much older in years, she has begun to command respect as the Bahu, the daughter-in-law of the house, already in charge of 3 men, her husband, Mukesh, and their father. So she is the only female over there in the house, and she is taking care and providing food, cooking food for whom? Her husband, for Mukesh and for her father. So she happens to be a daughter-in-law of the house. When the older man enters, she gently withdraws behind the broken wall and brings her veil closer to her face. Custom demands daughter-in-law must veil their faces before male elders. So obviously it is a tradition in India, okay, whereupon if you see some elderly male apart from your husband in your house, then you are supposed to cover up your faces. So it is a custom that is being followed in India. So as a customary, as following this particular custom, this lady also, when she happens to see her father-in-law coming to her house, she covers up her face with the veil and she goes behind the broken wall. In this case, the elder is an impoverished bangle maker. So the very sole proprietor, or say the master of the house, he is the father of Mukesh, and he is in an impoverished state. That means what? He is in a very poor state doing the job of bangle making. Despite long years of hard labor, first as a tailor, then a bangle maker, he has failed to renovate a house, send his 2 sons to school. All he has managed to do is teach them what he knows, the art of making bangles. So he's been doing the job for many years. First of all, he was doing the work of a tailor. Then he shifted to bangle making. But he was not in a position, he was very poor, he was poor enough to get his house renovated, but he had made himself capable enough to send his 2 children to the school, and he has managed them to teach them the art of making the bangles that he himself was knowing. So children, today we shall learn this lesson up till here only. We are going to end up our session over here. See you again in the next session. Till then, goodbye and take care.